and welcome to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for the 5th of June 2023. Now, today we have one editorial article which is titled Creeping Change, and for the second and the third segment of the day, we will be having the news update and the legal news. So, for today's editorial article, that is Creeping Change, we have it about the Allahabad High Court, wherein it is held that a suit filed by five women to offer worship to Hindu deities at the Gyanvapi Mosque in Varanasi was maintainable. And by doing so, the Allahabad High Court has possibly legitimized a very clever attempt to question the status of the mosque. Now, what is this order all about? So, the Allahabad High Court has upheld a district court order that the scope of the suit filed by these five women is limited to the right of the plaintiff to worship Hindu deities. And in whatsoever manner, it does not question the status of the Gyanvapi Mosque. Now, hence, the suit is not, and because of this, because it is just about the right of worshipping Hindu deities, it does not, like the suit is not barred under the Places of Worship Special Provisions Act 1991. Now, if you look into it, the Places of Worship Special Provisions Act 1991 is an act that was brought forward to protect the statuses of places of worship as they were on the day India gained its freedom. So the judiciary has endorsed the use of legal means to lay foundation to building a possible future claim on the Gyanvapi Mosque. Now, why is it so? If you think about it, the Places of Worship Special Provisions Act 1991 talks about changing the place of worship that is there on a place. However, in this particular suit, it talks about five women who want to worship the Hindu deities at the Gyanvapi Mosque. So, since this is a right to worship, the court said that this does not fall under the provisions of this enactment. But if now that the court has come forward and said that yes, women, like people of the faith of Hindu, can go and worship Hindu deity in a mosque, the claims to turn the mosque into a temple would soon come. And why is this entirety of the Gyanvapi Mosque in a litigation scenario like this? Now, the court is right in noticing that while deciding a motion to reject a civil suit at threshold, it has to limit itself to the assertions made in the plaint. And the claim of the plaintiff is only to establish that Hindu deities, before the happening of the Babri Masjid incident, were daily worshipped inside the Gyanvapi Mosque. It was only after the Babri Masjid incident that the people who maintained the Gyanvapi Mosque, they went forward and stated that no, we would no longer allow Hindu deities to be worshipped daily inside the mosque, and instead we would restrict it to one day in a week. So apparently, it looks like these women only wanted to establish a fact regarding the mosque instead of changing the nature of the mosque. Now, the court has rejected the objection that this suit is an instance of very clever drafting to cover up an attempt to change the mosque's status. However, now this entirety of clever drafting has come into question because the plaintiffs have questioned whether the mosque has been built on the walk of property at all, since lands to the deity would belong to the deity even if the temples were torn down. What happens is if the plaintiff can establish the fact that yes, like Hindu deities were worshipped in a mosque every day, this would lead to them questioning that is so if a Hindu deity was being worshipped in a mosque, is it possible that the mosque was actually built on the grounds of a deity? Because if that is the case, then the grounds of the deity would still belong to the deity, irrespective of what, irrespective of the religion that the temple of, like the place of worship presently was catering to. So it will be unfortunate if the customary right of worship is allowed to lead to incremental or creeping changes to the mosque status. Following that, we will have the news updates for today. Firstly, Suriname to host Indian energy majors in June. The South American nation of Suriname is hosting an oil and gas conference from the 19th of June to 23rd of June in hopes of attracting energy companies, particularly from India. While American and European energy companies currently dominate the energy market in Suriname, the country's officials are interested in bringing the Indian companies and their expertise. Guyana, which borders Suriname, has seen heightened Indian interest after a major oil discovery in 2015 by ExxonMobil that saw it acquire the 17th largest oil reserves in the world. Secondly, we have Union Minister for Jal Shakti launches portal for GOBARdhan. The Union Minister for Jal Shakti, Shri Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, launched the Union Registration Portal for GOBARdhan, which will act as one-stop repository to assess investment and participation in biogas CBG sector at pan-India level, and more importantly, streamline the process of setting up CBG biogas plants in India. Any government cooperative or private entity operating or intending to set up a biogas CBG or bio-CNG plant in India can obtain a registration number by enrolling in this unified registration portal. Next up, we have P. Upadhyay takes over as Director General of Naval Armament. Shri P. Upadhyay, INAS, has taken over the Director General of Naval Armament. Now, Shri P. Upadhyay belongs to a 1987 batch of Indian Naval Armament Service. He joined Naval Armament Organization of Indian Navy on 12th July 1989, an electrical engineering graduate from SGSITS Indore. He earned his postgraduate degrees from Devi Ahilya University in Electrical Engineering with specialization in digital techniques and instrumentation in 1988, and a mechanical engineering degree from the University of Pune with specialization in guided missiles in 1995. Next up, in a proud moment for India, we have Indian origin boy crowned 2023 US Spelling Bee champion. If we actually look into it, US Spelling Bee championships have been majorly dominated by Indian origins. Dev Shah, an Indian origin boy, emerged as the winner of the prestigious 2023 Scripps National Spelling Bee. Shah, who is 14 years old and hails from Florida, took home a cash prize of $50,000 by correctly spelling the 11-letter word Samophile. This victory marks Shah's third participation in the competition, having previously taken part in 2019 and 2021. He is the 27th Indian American to have held the title. The winning word "Samophile" refers to an organism that thrives in sandy areas. So we have OTT platforms mandated to show anti-tobacco warnings. The Union Health Ministry has mandated anti-tobacco warnings for OTT platforms. The notification laid down new rules for anti-tobacco warnings for publishers, and a failure to comply with new rules would lead to strict action against them. The OTT platform shall also be required to exhibit anti-tobacco health warning as a prominent static message at the bottom of the screen when tobacco products or their use are displayed during the program. In the international news segment of the day, we have International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. The International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is observed every year on the 4th of June, and it brings attention to children who experience various forms of aggression. On August 19th, 1982, during the UN General Assembly's special session on the question of Palestine, concerns were raised over the plight of innocent Palestinian and Lebanese children who were victimized by the Israeli aggression. In response, the General Assembly designated June 4th as the annual observance of the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. For legal updates today, a judicial review can't be exercised to reappreciate evidence in departmental enquiry proceedings. Now, the Supreme Court, in the case of the Indian Oil Corporation and others versus Ajit Kumar Singh and another, has held that a constitutional court, while exercising its power of judicial review, cannot decide the case as if it is the first stage of the case, as if inquiry is still being conducted and inquiry report is being prepared. Evidence cannot be reappreciated at the stage of judicial review in a disciplinary proceeding as if conviction in a criminal trial is being re-examined by the next higher. Now, on Fridays and Saturdays, TNA, my colleague Monica Rahar had asked a couple of questions. Some of them were taken from the editorial, A Costly Ban, and the next was taken from the editorial, Unseeing the Crime. Now, the question in itself was which article of the Indian Constitution empowers the state to improve public health and to endeavor to bring about prohibition of intoxicating drinks? Now, the answer is Article 47 of the Constitution of India. And for this, we would like to congratulate Talin Likha, who answered correctly. For the second question, considering Friday's TNA, is who was recently appointed as the tourism ambassador of a northeastern state? Which is the state? The answer is Saurav Ganguly for Tripura, and the right answer has been given by Rishabh Singh. From Saturday's TNA, the question that was there was which section of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 provides for presumption of absence of consent in certain prosecutions of rape? And the answer is section 114A of the Indian Evidence Act. And the correct answer has been given by Chetan Jineja. Congratulations to all those who gave the correct answer. So this was all for today. For free study materials and TNA PDF slides, please join our Telegram channel, the link of which you can find in the description, or you can always scan the barcode that is given on your screen. Also, don't forget us to subscribe on our YouTube channel to stay up to date with the thorough newspaper analysis as it comes up every day. Thank you.